um like this, that it is highly unadvised that anyone exits the building, and that often students will receive a demerit or two for being caught outside, and most students won't risk that, seeing as the school is very competitive.
Uh, I asked him if he knows anybody who has earned demerits. Uh, as of late, possibly relating to the snowstorm.
He says he hasn't heard anything, um, and usually rumor spreads fast enough where he would have heard.
Hmm. Okay. I thank him for my time and for his time, and then return to the lunchroom.
He state as you walk away, he states he's looking forward to seeing you give your speech the next day.
Wouldn't it be today?
Clearly, or that day, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
My
I
bad.
thank him and return to the lunchroom.
All right, what did you order? Or
Bagel.
what did you have? Oh yeah, that's right, bagel. All right, upon returning, you sit down. There's a bagel there, and the harpist and the artist are talking. And um, the harpist states that it is funny that you just mentioned people being outside, for he too just saw someone outside when he was getting the food. He saw someone through a window in the cafeteria, and it wasn't particularly a person watching him, just a shadow crossing the window.
Um, I mentioned how the people I saw were either of similar build or the same person, and how they were all about the same size. And I described the size to him, and asked if that's who he saw.
He says he couldn't make them out because they moved fairly quickly, but not like too quickly. It wasn't like inhumanly quickly,
Okay.
but it still left him with a sense of um how to, like, unease.
Okay. Um, after eating, I asked James um if he happened to finish his painting, and if so, if he started on a new one.
Um, he says he has finished it, but he has put it in his or put it on like leaning against his wall, facing inward, for he it leaves him with a feeling of dread, and he doesn't like looking at it.
I asked him if
And
I can look at the painting.
um, he power roll of 5.
Okay. Boop.
Actually, you know what?
Pass.
4.
I
Okay,
pass anyway.
all right, because he's taken to a liking to you. Although he is hesitant to let you look at the painting, he finally agrees upon it and takes you back to his room. The harpist um, also decides to come along, tag along to see this painting. Uh, upon upon arriving at his room, he opens his door, and as you're about to enter, you see the band director exiting her room. She looks over towards you, sees the harpist, and quickly walks away. The harpist does not acknowledge her at all.
I noticed the band director fleetingly, but I am more interested in the painting as of right now. So I go
All right,
and
all right. Um, as you enter the room, which starts to feel slightly crowded, you notice that the curtains in front of the window are drawn, and the phone remains unplugged, or yeah, unplugged. And artist, the other artist, James, is turning the painting over of a screaming woman, which um even then makes like inspires more fear in you.
is there cell phone? My dad's
What?
cell phone. My dad's cell phone is ringing.
Oh, okay.
Uh, is there anything different about the painting?
Um, only it seems more dramatic, and it is obviously it's kind of new age, so it's just very it's dominated by her face, but it's kind of weird. Her eyes seem askew, and um her mouth is just abnormally large, like
Hmm.
extremely.
Okay.
Um, like her open mouth takes up like half the thing, half the canvas, like the lower half.
Okay. Are there any hmm does he have any hmm does he have any like books nearby or anything that might influence his painting?
No.
Okay. Um
So other than the painting materials, the room is barren, like
okay. I decide
unchanged, other than yours.
to pull the curtain slightly to see if there's anything out there.
All right. Upon like, are you how much are you opening it? Like just so you
Enough so that the artist and the harpist can also see.
can also see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since neither of them are actually looking at the window, it doesn't really matter. But do um a roll against 10
Of what?
wisdom for a wound.
Past.
Passed.
Yep.
All right. You fall backwards in fright because it's dominated by black. Just like the entire window is black.
I quickly yell to the artist and harpist to look out the window.
As they look, they catch a glimpse of the black dissipating, but it's like a cloud almost. But it was entirely like it wasn't painted black, but rather it was like black on the outside, and
Okay.
then it just fades to the gray that it was before.
I I stutter and explain that I saw a just a huge figure there, and
It
that
wasn't even like a figure. It was just black.
I just saw black, just black,
Yes, black.
and I say that to them, and I am very afraid.
They say they saw it too, and they're kind of freaked out, and they just kind of they don't shrug it off, but rather they since they didn't get the fullness of it, they seem a little less frightened than you, and they suggest that they that you all leave the room.
Okay. Um, I quickly draw the curtains and ask them if I can try an experiment quickly, and after that we can leave.
They seem kind of hesitant and ask what you mean by experiment.
Um, I tell them that I would plug the phone back in, and if we got the same call, I would call the operator and see if I could find the number that was calling us.
Um, they seem inclined to disagree, but are okay with it because you're friends with them. They've come to
Okay. I plug in the phone.
the phone does not ring. It
Hmm.
there's no change.
Regardless, I pick up the phone and dial the operator.
You dial the operator, and the operator picks up and asks how they can help you.
I mentioned that about 2 days ago that a number was calling this phone that kept hanging up with a dial tone, and if they could possibly trace the number.
The um the operator states that it will take a moment and kind of like please hold.
Okay.
So after a moment of waiting, like a minute or so, she comes back on and states that the the other day the phone lines connecting that place to the rest of the city were down and that no one could have called the phone unless it was within that area and they wouldn't know that. They're unable to tell.
Okay. I thank her and hang up the phone. Uh-oh. We're going over. So, we'll see you next time. Oh no! What's gonna happen?